Do you believe in angels? Today we're going to talk about 5 true stories of heavenly visitors. Welcome to today's video. My name is Rachel, and today we're going to get into the story of people that have encountered angels and the story that they tell. Story number 1, we're going to talk about an angel at a crash site. Lily Leonardi, a former FBI officer who retired after suffering from PTSD linked to her role in the aftermath of the September 11th terror attacks. Even though her story is unbelievable to some, she is adamant that this story is true. Leonardi said that she saw legions of angels guarding the Pennsylvania site where UAE Flight 93 crashed. When she arrived to the site just 3 hours after the crash, she was struck by numerous elements. She was so startled, some of her co-workers thought she lost her mind with fear. She stated, "I started seeing shimmery lights. It was kind of misty, and when I first saw angels there," Leonardi said, "and I didn't say anything to the guys because can you imagine if I would have said, I just saw angels in the crash site? They would have called the office and they've said she lost her mind and tell her to go home." She stated that they were dressed in warrior-like garb, almost like a Roman centurion. She said there were so many of them, but you couldn't see their faces. She continued to see flickers of light, and each angel was guarding the crash site. Her hope in sharing this story is to tell people that God was present during the crash of 9/11. This is a lot to unpack because then you think, why didn't the angels prevent this? Why didn't they protect all the people that did pass away? And that's where we just don't know. God has a plan, and it's not the angel's job to interfere with God's plan, but it does make you think. Story number 2, an angelic encounter during a car crash. Story goes that Pastor John Boston, he was driving down the road when another car crossed the center line and came barreling towards him. The pastor swerved past him and turned and crashed into a utility pole. This sent a live transformer crashing onto his car. Immediately, the metal and the glass began to buckle on the intense heat from thousands of volts of electricity. During this, his 4-year-old daughter, who was with him, was trapped inside the burning car. John said that the seatbelt was stuck and it wouldn't open. That's when a scruffy-looking stranger just came out of nowhere and easily opened the smashed door. Oftentimes, when a door is smashed, you got to get those jaws of life to cut open, but he said this guy was just able to open it right up. John said that man opened the door and then moved him out of the way of the vehicle before the car exploded into flames. This stranger was able to safely pull out John and his daughter from the vehicle that just burst into flames. John said that the man stated, "My name is Johnny. The police are almost here, and I can't be here when they get here, but you're going to be okay." And then he said the man was gone. Johnny said he tried to rationalize the situation and figure it out, but he said the only thing I could think of is that this man was an angel, that he was able to open the door like that and literally save us and be there at the right moment. Whether or not this individual was an angel or just a random person that happened to be there that God placed there to literally save him and his daughter's life, it's still an incredible story, and it really makes you think. The next angel encounter that we're going to talk about is an angel who was present during choir. Margaret Jones from Lancaster, UK, claims that she had a very specific experience with an angel. She said when she was singing in a choir 20 years ago, she felt the pressure of what seemed like a human hand touching her own hand. As she was standing on the edge of the choir, she assumed that the lady, Deborah, who had been playing the organ, had come over to join them, so she thought nothing of it. The hand then left hers, and a few moments later, she opened her eyes and was surprised to see that Deborah was still sitting at the organ, and she wasn't beside her. It was after the service that a fellow congregant told Jones that an angel was next to her and touched her hand. What? I want to hear his side of the story too. I want to hear him say, I was just watching the choir and I saw an angel appear and sing with the choir. I think that would be cool too. But that is a very heartwarming story, and I think that's pretty cool. The next story we're going to talk about is about an angel that held the hand of someone who was in pain. He was only 7 years old when his 5-year-old cousin, Chetty, passed away. Chetty had cancer, and at the time, his family didn't really want to talk about death or talk about the inevitable, that they knew what would happen. Whenever his family would visit Chetty's house, they would always play on the swing outside. After Chetty died, he went out to that swing one day. He was feeling particularly lonely and really missing his cousin. He said while he was swinging there, Chetty walked up to him and an angel was holding his hand. He stated that the angel had beautiful, long blonde hair and had a long white robe on and never said a word. Chetty stated to him, "I'm no longer in pain anymore." And then he and the angel turned away and started walking away and faded into nothing. That's a pretty unbelievable story that I think is pretty incredible. I feel like that would give so much peace to someone that is grieving in such a way that really didn't have any closure or wasn't able to say goodbye. The last story that we're going to talk about is about a girl who fell 30 feet and came out of it unscathed. Annabelle Beam was only 9 years old when she miraculously survived a 30-foot drop. She was outside playing with her family at their Texas home when she plummeted inside of a hollowed-out cottonwood tree. An emergency helicopter rushed her to the hospital at Fort Wood, where brain and spinal injury team prepped Annabelle's arrival, but astonishingly, Annabelle was unscathed. After the accident, Annabelle started telling religious stories that she experienced while she was coming in and out of consciousness. She stated that she met her guardian angel during the incident. She said, "I started to wake up in a tree and then I heard the fireman's voice. And then she said, I saw an angel and it looked like a little fairy." She said that the angel looked at her and winked and said, "I'm going to leave you now, but everything will be okay." She said that the angel stayed with her, shining a light so that she could see until she was rescued. I think that is just such a wholesome story. A little girl and her guardian angel, and I don't know, that's a pretty good story. What do you guys think about these stories? Are they something that you believe in? Have you ever had an encounter with an angel? I think I have, but I'm not quite sure. But I think that's every encounter with any angel. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye now.